On board. We're full head of steam. I tell you, this is so much fun. Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure today. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Rhea Rossi Booth.
And we are here at Shay Park in Saratoga Springs, Utah, to ride with the Utah Live Steam Club. It is a volunteer club that runs on these tracks at this park on scale railroads. Let's find out what people think about this.
Our kids love trains and all things related to that, especially this one. So yeah, we figured before we start mowing the lawn, let's come down and ride the train when it's nice and cool out. I think it's so awesome. One, that there's people that have these awesome hobbies that are just really fun, and then two, that there's a place that they can share that with other people.
Of course I enjoyed it. It's fun. Who doesn't like riding around on little things around a beautiful park? It's great. I love to do things that bring them joy. It's fun. He likes to run around singing songs about trains and excavators and things, so it's great to have an opportunity to come and share that joy with them and have a good time. And these guys are still young enough to enjoy it as well. They seem to have a great team put together. You can tell that they really enjoy this. I mean, they're giving up their Saturday morning to come and help us have a wonderful time. There's a lot of them. It's not like there's just one guy out here. They are careful about telling you the rules, so it feels like a very safe event. It moves nice and slow, walking pace, so it's not a frightening experience at all for anyone.
With this railroad, I actually have been coming here since I was 3 or 4. I don't really remember completely, but I mainly come out here to help out because my mom is a member of this place, and I usually come out here just to inspect the trains and make sure nothing's wrong. And I've been helping out with the sleepers recently with replacing them. Those little rectangles, those are sleepers, and they're under the rails to support the rails, and they have to be replaced every couple of years. I'm gonna probably end up moving and working on the Union Pacific Railroad eventually.
Well, we got a full tank of diesel, and we're running at all 600 volts. Well, that's not exactly true here, but it feels like it.
This is so much fun. I cannot believe that, it's not just for kids. It's the parents, the grandparents, I mean, everybody's on this thing, and this thing just hums right along.
Well, it's a nonprofit club. It's a 501c3, and they donate their time and their equipment, and then all they ask is that people donate, if they can, a little bit of money to help the club keep everything running and keep the cars maintained and the track. So it's a pretty good deal.
So this track stays down all year round. They don't pull this track up.
Nope, all year round. It's a permanent deal.
Wow.
So if you're short a little cash, you can come out and ride.
Yeah.
Entertain your kids for the day. What a great way to do things.
Yeah, this is a beautiful little club. They're great.
Well, while we truck on down the track, we are going to let you go to our first story. Welcome back to At Your Leisure at the Shay Park out in Saratoga Springs with Utah Live Steam. And we have with us the answer man, because Rhea had questions. She said, how does a train know how to turn a corner? And there's not a steering wheel in a locomotive, so we can't do it. This is Jim Wanless, and you have a very impressive title. You better give it to us because I won't remember it.
The full title is the Division Superintendent of the Northern Utah Division of the National Model Railroad Association.
Well, you don't drink, do you? Because
No.
I don't know how you could say that after a cocktail.
Some people just say the boss.
And you are for sure.
Okay, so the steering for a train is done on the ground by a ground crew, or called a switch crew. I think that's what they call them correctly. So now you're going to see exactly how switches work. Jim, explain the process to us, and we'll let Rhea learn how to be a
So typically
switch
they're
master.
locked so that people don't just come and switch them and
Derail
the train or make it go on the wrong route.
Right.
So go ahead and unlock
Okay,
it.
so just
It's already
unlock
unlocked.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, you take the lock off,
Yeah, and then you just pull the lever up
pull the lever up,
and swing it across to the other.
put it in the next
A
screw,
little bit more. Perfect.
and then put the lock back
Lock
on.
it back on. Yeah.
And then hope you remember the combination.
Oh.
Shoot!
Someone else has the key. I don't have the key. I've got answers, but I don't have the keys.
I just locked it. I hope I don't derail the train.
It's not going to derail.
gosh.
It'll just go in the other route.
Oh, it will?
Yeah.
So instead of going to Cincinnati, they're gonna go like to Jackson Hole?
Something like that, depending on the train.
This is why I don't work on railroad.
You can learn though.
I'm sorry,
There's
Jim.
hope for you. You can still learn.
Thank you, Jim.
Well, okay, there you go. You got a one-shot chance at learning how switches work. I hope you paid close attention. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into keeping these tracks and a lot of things that the club volunteers time to do, and you need to find out about it.
Shay Park Railroad is just a local community railroad that's all run by volunteers. The city's allowed us to use the park to put our railroad in, and then the club runs and maintains the track and the trains, and then every other Saturday during the summer we give free rides to the public.
When we first started out, we had the wood ties, and we have little tie plates, and you had to use gauge bars to line everything up. And you know, to build a section of track, I mean, like 20 feet of track could take an hour to build. And we'd bring it out in panels and try to put it in, and then you have to go through and ballast it. And you know, at first we didn't have a train, so we'd have to haul it in by wheelbarrow and everything. So it took a lot to do it.
When the park was being put in, the fact that it was an old railroad line that went through the park and the city wanted to keep that railroad theme, they came to me because they knew that I had been involved in the train community and asked what we could do that was related to bringing trains here to the park. We looked at, you know, bringing a steam engine and a caboose, and the logistics of that were a little bit bigger than what we could do as a club and as a city at a time. And that's when I met Mike Hansen at a local train meet, and he was looking for a place to run the trains, and I kind of put him and the city together. My favorite part is just giving back to the community. I've always been a volunteer in several clubs, and I've really enjoyed being able to do something local in our community here that anybody can come and enjoy the trains.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We're out here at the Shay Park. This is a city park in Saratoga Springs dedicated to railroad, and it's sponsored by a club, and this is the Utah, was it Live Steam, Eric?
Utah Live Steam.
Yeah, and so at the heart of that, you can't just have a whole bunch of diesel there, you gotta have some live steam. And this is Eric's locomotive, and it is a fully functioning steam locomotive, right?
That is correct.
Tell me a little bit about it. So just kind of give us a walking tour from right here.
So this particular locomotive is actually what's called a Shay locomotive. Shay locomotives were primarily built for, you know, logging railroads in high country, you know, climbing steep grades. It's kind of, you know, like nice to have, you know, a Shay locomotive that fits
Shay Park.
Shay Park, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does it work? It's got all the moving parts of a real steam locomotive?
It does have everything. This particular steam locomotive primary fuel source is propane. It creates steam inside the boiler. My operating pressure is 105 pounds.
And you don't have to wear goggles because there's not black smoke coming back in.
Yeah, no. The only thing that usually comes back is you'll get some steam oil that comes back out of the stack. Steam has outer pistons on the outside. It's a 3-piston Shay. So it's actually gear driven. So that's why it's able to climb steep grades. It doesn't have the traditional, you know, like this type of, you know, steam trains do.
Right.
So this one is actually gear driven.
In time-wise, how much longer does it take you to get out moving on the tracks than the next guy that just has a motor?
30 to 45 minutes is my build-up time, build up enough pressure, steam, and whatnot to have this operational to be, you know, out on the track.
So you can't show up to any party late then?
No, it's not yeah, this takes a while. And then obviously it's so hot that I try to shut down early. So when I'm loading it back up on my trailer, that it's cooled down enough to where, you know, I can handle it and put it back into my trailer.
Combustible is the word.
We're excited. We hope,
absolutely.
We hope to catch a glimpse of it running before we leave today.
Yeah, thank you. I hope so.
Well, right now it's time for us to move to our next story while we get in line to board the train for yet another ride.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We're at the Shay Train Park out here in Saratoga Springs, having a fabulous day. I mean, this is just the best way to spend a day with the fam.
Well, you know, there's first class, and then there's passenger class, and we are in
cargo.
We're cargo.
We're cargo.
So this funny little locomotive that's based on a Model A is actually really, they had trains like this, and they were called gooses because of the horn. Let's hear the horn, Brandon. Oh yeah,
Woo!
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a goose for
And
sure.
They were a steam era workhorse that ran on gas, and they would maintain the rails and things like that.
Wow.
So it's absolutely fun. But fun is what's ahead of us too. Let's check out next week's show. We have had a great time today out here on the Shay Park Railroad and with Utah Live Steam. Please come out and ride this. It's here for the rest of summer, first and third Saturday of the month.
Yes, yes.
Through Labor Day, and then they have a big fall festival with the city.
Follow them on Facebook. These guys are awesome. They have a wonderful group, and this is just a beautiful community.
It is. So check out their Facebook page. And as we always say, there is adventure on every bend.
You just got to get out there and create your own adventure
At your leisure. Roll it!
All aboard!